favor to Ma'am Des and Sir James to monitor who will get the correct answer. And kindly please inform the crowd who will get the prize. I am sure that you are eager to learn about study habits that contribute to more fulfilling and productive student life. Halika, usap tayo. My objective in this webinar is to let my participants to learn, relearn, and unlearn the concept of study. As a humble speaker, I always start with my talk with a goal so that I can see if I am on the track. Again, at the end of the webinar, the participants are expected to learn, relearn, and unlearn the concept of study. To help you understand what the title means, I will explain two terms. The first one is, what is study habit? And the last one is, what is quality mindset? I know that everyone understands the importance of the word study habit, but only few students are able to put them into practice. Just like love, it is overly defined, but not overly done. We keep on claiming that we have a study habit, but why your grades are not good? The majority of students are pondering this issue. Allow me to tell you the definition of a study habit. What is a study habit? From the slide that I have presented, it talks about habitual practice. It focuses on habitual. When you speak about habitual, it is constantly happening from time to time to make your life more meaningful as a student. At the same time, learning a lot of opportunities in what we call life. Good study habits can not only help students achieving and maintain good grades. We are not here in this world just to create good grades. This is only the manifestation of having a good career in the future, having a good study habits. Then the second one term is, what do you mean by quality mindset? I know you have a lot of ideas when you talk about quality, but let me ask you this. When you hear the word quality, what comes to your mind? I'll give you seconds to think. Probably you can associate this with standard, or probably worth, or the word excellence, trademark, value. You got them right. This is actually what word we can associate with quality. But we are talking about what is quality mindset. So this time, allow me to tell you the meaning of quality mindset. Quality mindset, this is that you are able to go extra mile and strive to improve every day. Every day is not a perfect day. To do so, you must begin by improving something small. It starts with the small. Think about small in order for you to become big. I have read a book on how to think big. Even you are just an ordinary, if you can try to think yourself that you can do something small, and this small can be recognized later in the future. And you are need also to identify that being small, you will be noticed by other people by looking and sharing good experiences of yours. Allow me to share the wisdom of Aristotle. Are you familiar with Aristotle? If not, I would like again to share the Aristotle wisdom with you. When he said, We are what we repeatedly do. Excellent, then it is not an act, but a habit. Try to ponder and apply to this to your real life situation. When he said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. I respectfully suggest that everyone should be aware of the study habit that leads to awareness of how to be a good student. These habits are anchored on the best-selling book of Stephen Covey. I attempted to rephrase his thought about how to become more successful student of being effective individuals. I may conduct research to learn more about student study habits. The first habit that we need to have in 7 habits of students with quality mindset is the habit 1, which is be a student with proactive mind. Again, the first habit is be a student with proactive mind. The proactive approach is to mistake, is to acknowledge it instantly and correct and learn from it. Ang ibig sabihin po nito ay ang buhay ay hindi perpekto. Mayroon tayong mga pagkakamali along the way. Pero paano ba natin tinatanggap ang buhay ay hindi perpekto? So this is first to do is to acknowledge and learn to correct and learn from it, because the best experience in life is our teacher's experience. In general, students go from attending class every day, not only attending a few days per week. These realities bring your time management skills to the test. But being proactive, you can overcome these and other challenges. And this is my first question to our live audience. What aspect of life does it imply that the students are equal, regardless of their race, social status, or religious belief? Again, my first question that will receive my prize of 100 pesos via GCash. Again, may I repeat the question? What aspect of life does it imply that students are equal regardless of their race, social status, or religious belief? May I ask with Sir James? If someone gets the correct answer? Again, may I repeat the question? What aspect of life does it imply that students are all equal, regardless of their race, social status, or religion? In other words, sa ano bang aspeto ng buhay ng estudyante na kayo ay nagiging equal? Maluson, Mabisayas, and Mindanao ka man, regardless sa iyong paniniwala. Okay, may I request Sir James if there is already who got the correct answer from the question? I know knowledge and skills, moral, education, what else? Okay, I'll give you the clue. It is one word, composes of 4 letters. Life, love, habit, moral, mind, grit, culture, life. Again, it starts with letter T. Okay, there we have. The correct answer for that question is time. How do we manage our time as a student? So, the first habit is what we call be proactive in all situations. So, let me ask you this. What are some characteristics of a proactive students? The first one is you need to manage your time. A proactive person is a doer rather than a passive person who waits for something to happen. A student is a one who takes charge of and responsibility for his education. Begin by reclaiming ownership of the most precious asset, which is your time. Kay saan ka man nakatira, 24 hours a day lang ang magagawa natin. Kaya we are equal with time. Keep track of your quizzes, exam, task, and other deadlines on electronic paper calendar. Plan your social activities and extracurricular activities around your academic responsibilities. It means that hindi lang ang obligasyon mo ay bilang estudyante. Anak ka rin. Mayroon ka rin ibang responsibilidad na iyong atutupagin. Kaya you need to focus more on planning your time, how your time should be allocated in order for you to become successful. The next one is be engaged in class, having a proactive mind. Every class session should be seen as a learning opportunity that should not be missed. Attend class on a regular basis, participate actively, take compiled notes, and keep up with your assignments. If you skip a lecture because of time constraint, ask your classmate for notes and do not expect the teacher to catch you up. You are the student. You need also to manage and engaging your life to the class. And think always about this, that every class session is a learning opportunity. And to make you more proactive also, you need to be creative. The third part. Be resourceful, proactive students seek out opportunities to broaden their education and form positive relationship, which all of which can be benefited their education. Develop a study group with fellow students, for example, to pull resources and ideas and to motivate one another with this special useful if the class provides challenging situation. You can make alternative like establishing a mentoring relationship with your teacher, academic advisor, or other valued campus leader so that you can have someone mature to speak, confide in, and seek advice from to keep you on the track. You need another people. As what they said, no man is an island. We need companion. We need some people to help us realizing our ambition in life. Now, let's proceed to the second habit. The second habit is you need to begin with the end in mind. Not to end your mind, but to end in mind. It means that you need to define clear measures of your success and plan then to achieve them. Let me ask you, when was the last time you paused to consider your true desire as a student? Again, when was the last time you paused to consider your true desire as a student? Not what you require, but what you really want to accomplish in life. Each student around the Philippines is trying to make something reason why you exist. Unfortunately, many students never take this issue seriously. As a result, they are never able to realize their ambition. They have a lot of ambitions in life. We don't want to happen to you. So today, we'll shed you some light on the subject and talk about how to start with the end in mind. All things are generated twice according to Dr. Covey. First is in the mind. Then the second is in the physical world. Mental inventions are followed by physical creations. Just as the houses, for example, are designed according to blueprints. When you say blueprints, pictures of a line, you must first see and appreciate your deepest desire in order to make the reality. To summarize, starting with an end in mind is visualizing your student life in school activities or particular project in the way you want it to be before you start working on it. You gain a lot of power over your life situation and you can make this deliberate effort. In other words, you think your life most of the time. Put end in mind. Know your reason. You should know some terms for you to visualize your life 10 years after this time. There are three key reasons, in our opinion, why this we need to start with end in mind philosophy so significant. We need to understand the clarity, the performance, and the intent are three of them. Let's look at each one more in detail. First, you need to know your clarity. You will gain great clarity in many aspects of your life until you will realize where you want to end up. So, in other words, as a person, we keep on thinking many things. But what are the things happening to us? For example, if you realize that your ultimate career goal is to become an entrepreneur and run your own company, the steps to get there become obvious. You must first develop a variable concept, a business concept, because this is your ultimate goal. Then you must develop your product, find your clients, recruit staff, secure investor, and so on. By doing all of this, you are aligned to your career goal in the future. Obviously, the steps that you will take will be specific to your goals, but the fundamentals of running a main is the same. You will gain clarity about what not to do and do if you want to start with the end in mind. So, in other words, you are guided if the things are anchored to your choice. God creates over your mind. I mean, God creates your mind over your heart because you need to think first before you can feel your emotion. The second word that we need to familiarize in, begin with the end, is the efficiency. When you start with the end in mind, you gain insight, which helps you to become more productive naturally. You will be able to prepare and strategize the most efficient path according to your objectives. Let's say you want to advance a project manager, for example, within next 2 years at your business. This is your objective. You can now devise of the most strategy for doing it. Instead of chasing erroneous goals, you concentrate solely on the steps needed you to become a project manager. That is what we call efficiency. Concentrate, focus, and always be guided with the people around. And last word that we need to begin in mind is with the purpose. I know you have purpose why God created you, why you are here in this world, because you are part of the ecosystem. If you identify your purpose in life, finally, you begin the end in mind and you gain your purpose. You will be pursuing goals that matters to you, establishing career you will be proud of, and enjoy your life that you want to be. This is what we call purpose. Imagine this all the time and concentrate. The trick is to concentrate on what you really want and work hard to achieve. This is how you find meaning and satisfaction with a purpose in life. Actually, there are suggestions on how to begin with the end in mind. It is first what we call you dream big. I know you start with a small action, but you start with a big dream. Start the big dream, which is a beautiful dream, in order for you to be motivated as an individual. As a student, there are a lot of crises happening now because of the pandemic. Because of your big dream, you try to be motivated in a small way. You try to move out from your comfort zone and find a better way to live in. It is a great way to understand what you want to accomplish. This is what we call having a big dream. I know each of you have a big dream, but big dream will be nothing if it's only dreaming. There are two kinds of person in this world: a person who dream or a person who fulfill the dreams. I'm expecting that most of you will choose a dream that is fulfilling. The second one is be honest. Why we need to be honest at all times with our dream? It is very critical that you can be completely honest with yourself throughout this phase. The more clearly you see the current condition because of the pandemic, on what strategies that you will do to better equip yourself to escape from the reality and pursue your dreams, you need to be honest of what are the things that you need to do. If it is more anchored on the dream that you wanted to be. The third one is you need to design a path in order for you to arrive your destination. The aim here is to draw a straight line as possible between yourself and your objectives. We suggest working backwards from your desired outcome. Again, let me focus on your purpose. You need to draw if all your action align to your objectives in life. If these activities are related to my dreams, my aspiration in life, if that is related, congratulations, you do it in the right way. After all, are not we trying to start with an end in mind? So imagine your endpoint first. Consider the argument immediately and preceding it. Continue doing so before you arrive at the current situation. In other words, it simply means that everything you do, you're accountable. You are the reason why it is happening because this is how you perceive your mind. And last but not the least, you need to put the pen into paper. What does it mean? You are a student. Most of the time, you are fond of studying. You are very familiar with pen and paper. But how to use this material in your life? After completing steps one, two, or three, it's time to put pen to paper and craft your mission statement. You need to write so that you will be guided accordingly. If your mission statement is achievable, if you are still in the right track of your mission statement. A mission statement is just a sentence or two that defines your purpose. Why you need to write? Because in order for you to remember your desire, your purpose that matters to you, and how you to plan to pursue it. Because sometimes we are troubled with a lot of responsibilities. This could be personal mission statement, a corporate mission statement, a project mission statement, or your job you're really actually working on, or a mission statement of a student like you. This could be a personal mission statement. Okay? The best part here is you have already done most of the hard work for this step. It means that you are guided of your mission statement. I do this because this is anchored and aligned to my idea and the purpose of this world. If you have already defined your purpose, it is what you're trying to achieve. The next goal you've set is for yourself. You also determine why target is important to you. Let's go back in the dream big. Both of these things were accomplished. You have already decided how you will accomplish your objectives. So when you plan your course, you went over that. And that's left to do now is condense of all these materials into succinct mission statement. When you say succinct, it means that achievable mission statement. And last and foremost, in how to end your mind is to fully commit. Then you should devise the best strategy for getting you from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest time of amount. After your study habit for 4 years, what will happen to me? What it will contribute to my habitual practice of study habit. You may also devote some time of creating an outstanding mission statement that encapsulates for your whole intent and strategy in one or two succinct sentences. But even though it seems hopeless or you don't feel like it will get where you want to go if completely commit hard work, this is the point at which your rubber meets the road. To be frank, it will be most likely become challenging at times. But if you stick with it, you will find happiness, satisfaction, and meaning. That's your how to end in mind. Again, are you familiarized those? Okay, let's proceed now to the third habit. But before I go to the third habit, another question will be asked. As you mentioned a while ago that all of the students from Region 1 to Region 13 are equal with time. So let me ask you this question. How do you efficiently split your time depending on your priorities? Okay, other answered time management, proper time management. Who else? Or let me rephrase the question. How you will divide your time according to purpose. Know your priorities, time management, focus. Okay. The answer is only two terms. The first term is start with letter I, and the second term start with letter U. Okay, other would say know the purpose based on time management matrix. And can you please, when you mention your answer, can you please state the name of your school so that we can identify from what school are you coming from? Important and urgency. I like that from Xavier University. Okay. The answer for that question is you need to identify your time according to your priorities by having or by analyzing it into important and urgent. But it will be categorized into four. First one is important and urgent. The second one is important but not urgent. The third one is urgent but not important. And lastly, not important or urgent. Okay, that is how you classify your time. Prioritize and achieve your most important goals instead of constantly reacting to urgencies. I know we are reactive, but we need to be proactive, especially this time of pandemic. We need to think it over, appreciate of what you have. Do not keep on complaining things why it happened, but try to appreciate why things it happened because it has purpose. But all you have to do is make priority and on how to achieve your mission statement. Okay, in the first one is you also manage your crisis and pressing problems. All of us have crisis and pressing problems, but how we do strategizing those in order for you to manage. Aside from managing, you need also to focus on the strategies and values that you own. Sometimes our values in life also affected on how we make decision in life. You need to have focus and you should avoid interruption and busy work. Everyone is busy. I keep on hearing from my students and even my colleagues that all of them are busy. Tell me if there is no one is busy. Everyone is busy, to be honest. But on how your mind avoiding the interruption and busy work. And please limit your trivial and wasteful activities, just like making TikTok. Is your life be changed being having TikTok? It's just a waste of time. Probably you can say that is my leisure time. But is that according to your mission statement? Making more time looking on videos in Facebook, YouTube, and others. But do you think your time is being used according to your mission statement and purpose of why you are created? You are making your time wasteful. As a student, you able to manage, avoid, limit, and focus to make your time movable according to your choice. According to one of my professor before in the University of the Visayas, when he said, you are accountable of your actions. Whatever is your choice, you must accept the consequences. In everything you do, you need to think twice. You need to be responsible of the decision because you are not a child anymore. Your age is enough to decide what is right from wrong. And by having that concept, you can decide of your future, of what kind of path you want to go or not to go. The decision lies to your hand. Again, my dear student, think about time. How do I manage my time in 24 hours? In 1 hour? In 60 minutes? In 1 second? Because you say time is a precious gift, but how precious it is to you. You keep on saying that time is important, but how to engage my time with a quality mindset through my study habit. I keep on saying I should concentrate in my study. I promise to my parents, my friends that I will be good in my study. But words are good, but putting them into action is more even better. You keep on saying things which is not happening. You keep on saying promising even to your loved ones because you don't understand the importance of time. When you know the importance of time, that as mentioned by other people, that YOLO, you only live once. You cannot live many times. But how you try to minimize and maximize the time that given to you. You don't know when to end life, but you can end your mind with having a positive contribution and a proactive to yourself. That is what we talk about in habit number 3. Let me proceed on habit number 4. Students think win-win solution. Collaborating more effectively by building high trust relationship. The most desirable way to resolve challenges and dispute is to find win-win solutions. Instead of one person winning and the other is losing, when you win and the other person wins, everyone is satisfied and the relationship strengthened as a result. In certain cases, win-win option exists, but they are difficult to see. I agree with this line that in a student life, we have a lot of problems exist. And sometimes we make win-win solution to our friends, our teacher, our parents. But how this win-win solution exists also. Just like if your aim is to pass the subject of your teacher, what could be your win-win solution for this? Of course, you need to study. You need to burn candles at night if you want to win the solution also. If the teacher will pass to you because you pass of all his requirements beyond expectation. And that is what we call win-win option. You can make win-win solution to your life, not even in school activities, even in real life situation. You can create, strategize a win-win option to make your life more meaningful and productive. It is up to you to decide. The decision lies in your hand, keeps on repeating you on how to make your life more comfortable and meaningful. In other words, it's easy to say that there are many ways to kill the chicken as long as it is dead. When you say win-win solution, that you can kill many ways to the chicken as long as at the end of the day, the chicken is dead. You can use knife. You can use wrecking his neck or making a lot of situation, but you will not stop because whatever effective solution may not be effective to someone. What is solution to Maria may not be applicable to the solution of Mario because Mario and Maria are the same person but different individual personalities. The value surrounds them is depend on the solution that you will be having. In other words, win-win solution is making yourself more meaningful. When you have the problem, try to think, proactive, smile, and think of a lot of solution. Write that in the paper. So when you write on the paper of all the solution that you want, you probably see the beautiful relation of life, and you can see because you've given more time to yourself. And that is showing loving yourself. You keep on saying that you love yourself, but actually you're not. By the moment your professor asks you a question and you cannot answer, is that what you call love? Did you love yourself? If you loved yourself, you studied the lesson, you can answer the question of the teacher because your identity will tell you who you are. If you are a good student, you manage the time, not only time to your studying, but of course, include the people surround you. You give also time to your parents, your classmates, and even to your circle of friends. Because again, we are not alone in this world. We are connected to one another, but let's find our connection to someone. That is what we call students think win-win solution. Is that clear, students? I know this time you started to find problem and you want to make win-win solution. That is what we call having a proactive mind. Let's go to habit number 5. Habit number 5 is students seek first to understand the need to be understood. Again, in order for you to understand, students seek first to understand the need to be understood. Influence others by developing deeper understanding of your needs and perspective. Let's put that in a classroom situation. I know in one class, it composes of many students. You have different needs and perspective. How your teacher will understand you without understanding also the teacher. In order for you to be understood of the situation along pandemic, let your teacher be understood of your sentiment, of your problem encountered this time, so that you will be understood at the same time. But before I will start on my talk, this is my third question. May I ask my live viewers to spell the word communication that start with letter L? Again, spell the word communication that start with letter L. Okay, other answer, language. Okay, correct. The answer is listening. In the power of communication, listening is very important. And according to research, most of the people, I mean Filipino people, are not good listener. Sometimes we break the communication. For example, when your friend is getting closer to you to confide something, you don't know how to listen, but you know how to react on the situation. So your mind is not a proactive mind, but a reactive mind. Now, in communication, how could someone could elaborate the situation if you are the barrier of the communication because you don't know how to listen? In habit number 5, again, you need to seek first to understand that needs to be understood. The most important skill in life is communication. You need an open communication. When you say communication, communication to your classmate if there is collaborative work. Communication to your parents for the support to your education. communication to your loved ones, also to special someone, in order for you to be understood of all the things you will be doing, because your time is telling you that this hour I need to do research, I need to do my project, I need to go to church, I need to go market. And because of all of these explained in communication, you will be able be understood with others. Years are spent learning to read and write, as well as years learning to speak. But what about paying attention? What kind of training have you had that allows you to listen in such a way that you can really understand another person? My answer here is probably none, right? I'd like you to ponder the question before I'll proceeding on my next habit, which is habit number 6. What kind of training have you had that allows you to listen in such a way that you can really understand another person? The decision lies in your hand. Let's proceed now to habit number 6. Habit number 6, students need support system and network. I agree. Develop innovative solution that leverage diversity and satisfy yourself. Do not compare yourself to anyone else, but compare yourself to the previous you. If there is achievement, then you congratulate yourself. It is not having a comparison to someone, because everyone is unique and intelligent. You need someone that you can complement to each other to make your life more meaningful. And this time of pandemic, since hindi na tayo nakakalabas sa bahay, how about this is a time to re-strengthen and expand your social network? It means that because of limited travel, because of pandemic, you try to restructure your time in re-strengthening and expanding the people surround you, especially your family and friends, with the new adaptation. In the family, of course, because of the pandemic, we have a lot of time with our family. But the question is, how did you manage your time with your family? Did you make an activity to make it more meaningful? How about to your friends? Is it more on group chat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the like? But how to strengthen, to make your connection to the people that surrounds you? If you think that person is not helping to your success in the future, I am not saying that do not go with them, but do not expose much your time to them. They cannot help you improving your social network, as strengthening your needs and support system. You only identify people whom you think it can help with you. It means that if you think that person is not helping your success, do not give more time to that person. Just engage them in the name of friendship, but not giving more time. In the new adaptation, especially in the pandemic, we are restricted much on how. But because of technology, we try to connect them, but make your connection more meaningful, because you need to strengthen and expand your social network. It means that when you have a problem, do not accept this by your own. Try to talk with your friends. Try to communicate with your family. Try to ask experts' opinion, your teacher, your closest friend whom you consider to your life. By making conversation with them, you can enlighten or lesser your problem into something new strategy that can be applied, because it might be that your existing problem experienced by everyone, and because of their solution and how those problems be solved, you are being enlightened. Instead of wasting your time, focus on the problem. And lastly, we need to the final habits, which is students have quality mindset at all time through sharpening the saw. In this line, you need also to increase your motivation, energy, your life balance by making time of renewing activities. In order for you to understand what is this all about, allow me to show you a video of how to renew yourselves as a student in terms of having your physical fatigue, mental fatigue, your emotional fatigue, and all this fatigue that we've been mentioning. Okay, may I request Sir Elimar to show my video?
Life can be tough. It can test us, it can stretch us, even push us to our breaking point and sometimes beyond. With all of the demands that we have to juggle, it is easy to become imbalanced, stressed out, or to even feel empty inside. And if we don't take the time every day for renewal, we simply won't have the capacity. We won't have the strength or the energy or the insight to deal with life's challenges. Trying to live without renewing ourselves each day is like trying to cut a piece of wood with a dull saw. You can't do it. To gain the power you need to face life's challenges, you must make time each day to sharpen the saw. Habit 7 surrounds all the other habits because, simply put, it's the habit that makes all the other habits possible. It's about preserving and enhancing the single greatest asset you have, you. It means regularly renewing and strengthening the 4 key dimensions of your life: your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Let's start with the body. Body represents our physical energy and our capacity to do things. We can keep ourselves sharp in this area through regular exercise, through good nutrition, proper rest, and of course, finding time to relax. Mind represents our mental sharpness, our ability to think clearly and to make good decisions. We renew ourselves in this area through continuous learning, writing, reading, as well as planning and organizing, so our minds are not cluttered and we get very clear on what needs to get done. Heart represents the quality of our relationships. We can sharpen our saw in this area by taking time for people, by taking time to build and to strengthen and to sometimes repair our most important relationships. In other words, by making daily deposits into the emotional bank accounts of other people. And finally, spirit. Spirit represents that inner self that exists far beneath the surface of your everyday self. It represents your center, your deepest convictions and your values, your source of purpose and meaning. We can renew ourselves in this area in many ways, such as spending time in nature or meditation, listening to inspiring music, thinking deeply on our mission and our values, religious worship, or meaningful service. Sharpening the saw each day in the physical, the mental, the social, and the spiritual dimensions is a practice we call the daily private victory. I recently had an experience that tested my commitment to my own daily private victory. That morning, my alarm sounded. Usually I get up and exercise, plan, get ready for the day. But I was up late the night before and I was so tired. And I thought to myself, I don't have time today to sharpen the saw. But as I was lying there, I could hear my father's voice in the back of my head saying, like he always said, "Sean, have you ever been too busy driving to take time to get gas?" So I got up and I went down to my basement. I exercised. Immediately after exercising, I sat on my couch in the basement and I read inspiring literature for a few minutes. I then took time to plan my day. I started by looking at my mission statement. And then I reviewed each of my roles and the key goals and things I wanted to accomplish for each role. I got really clear on the few things I had to get done that day. It gave me perspective. As I continued planning, I also realized that I needed to apologize to my wife for something I'd said the night before. So I finished my planning and I went back upstairs. The whole routine only took about 45 minutes. After getting ready for the day, I went to my wife and I apologized. It turned out I really needed to, and she let me know that. However, it made a huge difference in how we both felt as we started the day. And as I walked out the door for work, I felt refreshed. My most important relationships were in order, and I had a very clear view of the day ahead. As it turned out, my private victory that morning helped me in so many ways throughout the day. I had to make a number of very pivotal decisions that day, and I felt this great sense of wisdom and judgment to help me. But it could have gone the other way. I could have stayed in bed and rushed through the morning and missed the opportunity to invest in my own capability to live that day well. I highly recommend this simple practice of sharpening the saw by spending time every day having your own daily private victory. Find a routine and a time that works for you. It will affect every decision and every relationship. It will greatly improve the quality of every other hour of the day, including the depth and the restfulness of your sleep. And it will build the long-term physical, mental, and spiritual strength that we all need to handle these challenges in life. So commit now to winning your own daily private victory. Even when it's hard, even when you don't have time or don't feel like it, and even when you don't want to wake up, it will make all the difference.
Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. And this is the fourth question to be given to our live viewers. Based on my presentation, what are the 7 habits of student with quality mindset? There are 7 habits that you need to complete. Okay, can you please include the name of your school so that we will be acknowledging for those who got the correct answer? The instruction are the 7 habits. Again, let me reiterate the question. Based on my presentation, what are the 7 study habits of student with quality mindset? Okay, Sir Jane. Is there someone who got the correct answer already?
Hello, Dr. Guido. Can you hear me there?
Okay. For the last question, question number 5. Paunahay na lang ni. What is my objective of the webinar? What is my objective of the webinar? Okay, Sir James, have you identified already the winners from question number 1 to question number 5?
Hello, sir.
Oh,
We're
yes,
still
sir. Good afternoon.
We're still working on the winners for question 4 and question 5. But meanwhile, we'd like to mention our winners. We already have winners from the question 1 to question 3. So would you like me to
Okay,
make mention of
sir.
them? Okay. So we have for the question 1, the winner coming from St. Paul John, the Second College of Davao, Hanifa Dampak. Again, Hanifa
Okay,
Dampak from,
congratulations to the first winner.
yes.
You will receive 100 pesos via GCash.
And then we also have coming from MSU-IIT, Trisha Dominic Salimpande.
From what
Trisha
school,
Dominic,
sir?
MSU-IIT po.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations. We also have coming from STI CDO, Feby Louise. Again, from STI CDO, Feby Louise. Congratulations. We're still working on the winners for question 4 and question 5 po, Dr. Guido.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir James, for the update with our live viewers.
Okay, for our winners, would like to remind you that those of you who participated and who won our question and answer portion a while ago, you will receive 100 pesos on your GCash. So our technical team will work on that, on how will they going to connect with you. Just stay connected even to the last minute of our webinar this afternoon so you can claim your prize. Again, we'd like to remind our winners to please stay with us to the last minute of this webinar. We still have to declare the winners of question 4 and question 5. We'd like to have a review. We have Hanifa Dampak, Trisha Dominic Salimpande, and Febe Louise, winners of our question 1, 2, and 3. And you will receive 100 pesos.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much, Sir James. Again, congratulations to our winners of 100 peso via GCash. So our technical team will be contacting you for, of course, to receive your cash or via GCash. That's e-cash, or what do you call that one? But once again, congratulations. And of course, thank you so much, Dr. Guido. That was really one meaningful talk that for sure will assist our students in strengthening their coping skills in preparation for the new normal of learning. Meanwhile, during the talk, most of our participants took time to share their insights and questions, which by this time, Dr. Nathaniel Guido shall try to answer all of those. So James is ready now in our social media room. James?
That is right. You know, we have lots of participants in both in Facebook and Zoom, and we would like to commend them for really taking time to comment, to give feedback. They really learned a lot from our speaker this afternoon. We only have 3 here, but we would like to invite more if we can have it more this time. Okay, so we have from Patricia Nicole Arañez, Dr. Guido Mamdes, and the question goes with, what if your parents now are the ones comparing you to others? Again, question from Patricia Nicole Arañez. What if your parents are the ones comparing you to others?
Okay, did you hear that one clearly, Doc?
Yes. Now, if your parents are comparing you to the other, it is your time to re-educate your parents about your uniqueness, and your intelligence is different from the other. You are the same classification, but different characteristics. In other words, it is not about complaining your parents, but it is time to say politely that re-educating your parents also because of the power of education.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc Guido. We still have more questions, James?
Yes, we do have. Thank you so much, Dr. Guido. We have coming from Andrea Kyle Tangonan. And the question is If we decide to follow these habits for the purpose of becoming better, but having difficulties to do so, since old habits die hard, what can we possibly do to slowly overcome these challenges? Again, question from Andrea: if we decide to follow these habits for the purpose of becoming better, but having difficulties to do so since old habits die hard, what can we possibly do to slowly overcome these challenges?
Okay,
Doc?
thank you so much. Now, if you have this habit for the purpose of changing life, it's not only the habit that we want to project it here. Having the quality mindset also is also powerful. When you have the problem of the entire situation because of the pandemic, do not be hesitant to think of your mindset that is anchored on the quality that you can survive, on how this dilemma could be resolved into a meaningful one. In other words, your quality mindset will guide you on how to answer those existing problems because your mind thinks over matter.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you so much, Doc. Des?
Okay, so James, do we still have more questions coming from our Facebook Live audience?
Yes, we definitely have one last, but definitely not the least. We still would like to invite everyone. After this, we can still cope up with time. You can still ask questions, okay? I hope there are more. We have from Dave Lawrence from Lourdes College. What worthy and easy tips should we apply to easily brave the challenge of the online learning? Again, coming from Dave Lawrence of Lourdes College, what worthy and easy tips should we apply to easily brave the challenge of the online learning?
Again, may I request Sir James to please repeat the question?
So the question is, what worthy and easy tips, the easy tips, Doc, should we apply to easily break the challenge of the online learning?
What tips, Doc, that we can easily apply to break the challenges, especially now that we are having online learning?
Okay, it requires open communication between the teachers, the learners, and all the stakeholders around the learning process. Because in open communication, we need also to apply empathizing the situation, especially in this challenging situation. So when you empathize, you also apply design thinking on how to be understood by our students, requirement with our teachers and also school administrators to come up with empathizing math in order for us to address the pressing problem with pandemic.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Now, at this time, we encourage our participants coming from our Zoom. You may actually raise your hand or turn on your camera if you'd like to ask a question. So anyone
Okay.
from our Zoom participants, you may
Yes,
again
Des.
address it with your own. So turn on your camera. Yes, James, do we still have more questions there?
Des, we still have one question here coming from Zoom. This time is a representative of Hinguog Christian College. And the question goes with, how can we educate our close minded parents in a less harsh way about them comparing ourselves to others? This is again related to the prior question a while ago with regards to a parent comparing their children to others. So this is another version from Mingoog City. And she would like to ask, how can we educate our close minded parents in a less harsh way about them comparing ourselves to others?
Okay, that is a very nice question. It is only my suggestion on how to solve the problem by making PTA. You need to talk about that kind of topic to educate not the children educating parents, but this time the teacher educating the parents through the PTA. When that topic is talked about, they can open up why they're doing so because of understanding our culture also, that our parents are trying to maneuver our life, and also to identify the task and responsibility of our parents. I know that they they understand the word responsibility aside from accountability. It's for the teacher to inform the parents that comparing to someone else is not good and it will not bring good to the students. It's time for us to refresh our mind that we are not living in the past, but we are doing in the future to understand the present.
That
All
is
right.
right. It goes with the saying that the best way to predict the future is to create it every day. So thank you so much, Dr. Guido. We still have one more left. But before I will give you the last question coming from Zoom, Dr. Guido, Ma'am Des, would like to mention our winners from the question 4 and question 5, which will receive 100 pesos via GCash. We have Eunice Marie Hambre from MSU Naawan, winner of question 4. And we have Catherine Chong Tihano, MSU Maigo, winner of question 5. Congratulations to our dear participants.
Well,
Anyway, let's proceed.
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations for those who tried and be a part of a solution.
That is right. Our resource speaker is very generous to give 100 pesos for them, right? Let's proceed to the last, definitely not the least question. What empowering beliefs can we take on to help us achieve our goals? Again, what empowering beliefs can we take on to help achieve our goals? This is coming from Regine of St. Michael's College. She was talking about empowering beliefs that we can take or the students can take to help them achieve their goals. The empowering belief, sir.
Doc, what are the beliefs that they can actually work on to achieve their goals?
What belief? Again, it
Empowering
refers
belief.
to individual values because your values is the deciding factor wherein you can apply to become a better. Now, even I have the correct answer, but if your values does not congruent on the values that I'm telling you, it's still useless. It against talking about you, you need to have self introspection. When you have self introspection, you need to examine yourself properly and of course apply the strategy that's suited to your personality so that the solution provided will be best working for you.
Yes, and I heard actually earlier, Doc, you've made mention on what work on Maria may not be work with other Marias, right? So it's actually, it what really matters with individuality. So, all right, are we done? Or do we have Zoom participants here that would like to raise their questions personally by our speakers? You may
I
actually
think
switch on your microphones.
I think we don't have more participants asking our keynote speaker, and unless we and if we still have, would like to entertain them maybe after our webinar, personally by Dr. Guido and the rest of the team. But we'd be very happy to entertain your questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Guido, Ma'am Des.
Thank you so much, Sir Jeff, James, and of course, once again, thank you so much, Doc Guido. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on screen Ms. Myrna I. Galarita, the Chief Education Administrative Officer, to give or to award the Certificate of Recognition. Doc?
Good day, everyone, especially to our dear students from the higher education institutions in Region 10. And for those who are watching us all over the Philippines live via Facebook page, of the Commission on Higher Education. Maayong adlaw kanatong tanan. In behalf of the CHED Region 10 family, I would like to thank the different higher education institutions in one way or another have helped in making this #Kamalayan Progressive Webinar Series 13 a very successful activity. Special mention to the Student Affairs and Services Directors for a massive campaign on this webinar for the benefit of our studentry. With this, CHED Region 10 would like to give these certificates as our manifestation of recognition and appreciation. Foremost, to our resource speaker. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Dr. Nathaniel G. Guido for generously sharing his time, experiences, and insights as the resource person during the #Kamalayan Progressive Seminar Webinar Series 13. Yan ang estudyante sa bagong normal entitled The Study Habits of Students with Quality Mindset, held on April 27, 2021 via Zoom platform. His perspectives and experiences have encouraged learning institutions to provide our youth with alternative solutions and time management skills to help them solve life challenges. His enthusiasms for encouraging students to explore their inherent potentials and to use their available resources productively and meaningfully in order to support their families and communities has been transmissible. Given this 27th day of April 2021 at the Commission on Higher Education Regional Office 10, Cagayan de Oro City, 9,000 Philippines. Signed, Raul C. Alvarez Jr., Director 4. Participating HEIs. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Dr. Karen Jane S. Ungab and Taguluan Community College in grateful appreciation of the institution's unwavering support and dynamic involvement in the conduct of the 2021 National Student Orientation on Going Back to School through limited face-to-face classes and the #Kamalayan Progressive Webinar Series 13. Yan ang estudyante sa bagong normal entitled The Study Habits of Students with Quality Mindset, held on April 27, 2021 via Zoom platform. This is a manifestation of the Commission's deep appreciation for responding to the call for #Kamalayan. Given this 27th day of April 2021 at the Commission on Higher Education Regional Office Number 10, Cagayan de Oro City, 9,000 Philippines. Signed, Raul C. Alvarez Jr., Director 4. Another certificate is awarded to Dr. Raimundo P. Reyes and FINMA Cagayan de Oro College. Another certificate is awarded to Dr. Indira D. Tawan-Tawan and Mindanao State University, Lanao del Norte College Agricultural College. Another certificate is awarded to Dr. Oscar B. Cabañeles and Bukidnon State University. Another certificate is awarded to Maricel M. Nueva and Governor Alfonso D. Tan College. Another certificate is awarded to Dr. Herbert Glenn P. Reyes and Northwestern Mindanao State College of Science and Technology. Webinar hosts. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Desiree Dawn P. Hostor. Another certificate is awarded to James Jeron A. Hasinero. For Student Affairs and Services Directors and Support Staffs. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Dr. Lorenzo B. Dinlayan III, to Albert Rivera Cabolbol, to Engineer Erwin E. Lakpao, to Loredi P. Cabang, to Dr. Vincent Padilla, Jonathan Cañete, Gabriel Casino, Oscar Glenn Mabayo, Elimar Jamesola. Participants from Zoom and those watching via Facebook page will claim their certificate of participation from your Student Affairs and Services Directors, provided you have registered from the Google form as indicated and filled up evaluation form. Bye everyone. Keep safe.
Wow, thank you so much once again, Ms. Myrna I. Galarita, the Chief Administrative Officer of CHED Region 10. Once again, we would like to encourage our participants to do not forget to register and of course, click the link of our evaluation form, fill out the information there, because right after that one, you will be receiving your certificate of participation. So automatically, your certificates will be sent to you via email once you have registered or you have filled out the form in our evaluation form, which is posted in the link or in the caption of this Facebook Live and of course in our Zoom chat box. Thank you so much. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. For sure, you were able to learn from our resource speaker and study habits and quality mindset.
We believe that you have all inculcated today's learning both in your hearts and in your minds. This only shows that our goal in providing quality development will never be hindered amidst pandemic. Thus, as we move to our journey to our new normal, we continue to pray of the healing of our world. All together, let us sing Pag-ibig ang ihilom sa daigdig.
Biglang tumigil ang mundo, nangangamba lahat ng tao. Lumalawak ang pagitan, wala namang pinag-awayan.
Mga bayaning walang pangalan, buhay ang inaalay. Sa panahon nitong pagsubok, sila'y anghel na nakabantay. Kamay man ay di maghawak, di maaaring magyakap. Sa puso tayo'y magkakalapit. Sa pag-ibig kakapit, pag-ibig ang ihilom sa daigdig. Pag-ibig lang, oh, pag-ibig.